former CEO of Starbucks, Howard Schultz, he had to break all barriers to achieve success.
Just like this one.
Barrier number 1, growing up in poverty. Howard Schultz, the former CEO and visionary behind Starbucks, overcame multiple barriers on his journey from growing up in poverty to building a global coffee empire. His path to success was not smooth or guaranteed. He faced economic hardship, emotional struggles, business risks, and cultural challenges. Each of these barriers played a pivotal role in shaping his character, leadership style, and ultimately his success. He grew up in poverty in the Bayview Houses, a federally subsidized public housing project in the Canarsie neighborhood of Brooklyn, New York. His family's cramped 2-bedroom apartment on the 7th floor was home to Schultz, his parents, and his siblings, with about 150 families sharing a single elevator in their building. The constant stress of financial insecurity was a daily reality. His father, a World War II veteran who never finished high school, worked a string of low-paying, unstable blue-collar jobs such as cab driver, truck driver, and factory worker, often juggling 2 or 3 jobs at a time just to put food on the table. Despite his efforts, Schultz's father never earned more than $20,000 a year and had no job security or benefits. After a workplace injury, he lost both his job and the family's health insurance, leaving them with nothing to fall back on. Schultz's mother, who also did not graduate high school, was a strong-willed woman who dreamed of her children escaping poverty through education. However, the family's financial hardship meant Schultz had to start working at age 12, first with a paper route, then behind the counter at a luncheonette, and later taking grueling jobs in Manhattan's garment district and a knitting factory, always giving part of his earnings to his mother out of empathy for their situation. The stigma of living in the projects weighed heavily on Schultz, especially as he grew older and became aware of the shame and anger associated with his family's circumstances. How he overcame it. Rather than becoming bitter or hopeless, Schultz internalized the experience as motivation. He has often said that he grew up on the wrong side of the tracks and never forgot the humiliation and fear that came with financial instability. But instead of running from that past, he embraced it, using it as a lifelong reminder of what it means to live without dignity or opportunity. That memory fueled his later business philosophy, which emphasized respect and support for employees, especially those in low-income roles. Schultz found his way out through sports and education. He was a talented athlete and earned an athletic scholarship to Northern Michigan University, becoming the first in his family to attend college. This was a crucial step. College opened doors that had previously been closed. It also helped him build self-confidence and social mobility. He worked various odd jobs while studying and learned early on the value of hard work and perseverance. Even though he wasn't from a privileged background, he learned to navigate unfamiliar systems through grit and adaptability. Barrier number 2, lack of business connections or wealth. Unlike many business leaders, Schultz didn't have a network or wasn't wealthy or had capital that many entrepreneurs rely on. He didn't come from privilege or have access to elite business circles. After college, he took entry-level sales jobs, including working for Xerox and later Hammerplast, a Swedish kitchen equipment company. Growing up in a financially struggling family in Brooklyn, this meant he started from scratch, without the benefit of wealthy backers or established industry contacts. How he overcame it. Schultz overcame this barrier through a combination of determination, strategic risk-taking, and relationship building. Starting at the bottom and proving himself, Schultz began his career in entry-level sales and marketing positions, including at Xerox and Hammerplast, a Swedish housewares company. He worked hard to stand out, leveraging his performance and curiosity to move up the ranks and gain exposure to different aspects of business. Seeking out opportunities and learning from others, Schultz's curiosity led him to notice Starbucks, then a small Seattle coffee bean shop, because of its unusually large orders for coffee makers. He reached out and built a relationship with the company's founders, eventually joining Starbucks as Director of Retail Operations and Marketing in 1982. This move was pivotal, as it gave him access to a new network and the chance to learn directly from passionate coffee entrepreneurs. Demonstrating vision and convincing others, Schultz's transformative trip to Italy inspired his vision for Starbucks as a cafe experience, not just a coffee retailer. When the original Starbucks owners rejected his idea, Shultz didn't give up. He left to start his own coffeehouse, Illinois Journal, and proved the concept viability through its success. He then leveraged relationships with local investors and even Starbucks founders to raise the $3.8 million needed to buy Starbucks and merge it with Il Journal 6. Building his own network. Over time, Shultz built his own network of investors, partners, and employees by earning their trust and demonstrating results. He was able to inspire others with his vision, attract capital, and assemble a team that would help Starbucks grow from a handful of stores to a global powerhouse. Leading with empathy and values, Shultz's background shaped his leadership style, making him relatable to employees and partners from all walks of life. He pioneered employee benefits like healthcare and stock options, which not only attracted talent but also fostered loyalty and a strong corporate culture. And barrier number 3, leading through crisis. As the 2008 financial crisis hit, consumer behavior changed dramatically. People were losing jobs, cutting back on spending, and questioning whether premium-priced coffee was worth the cost. Starbucks saw sharp drops in sales and traffic. Critics began calling Starbucks an overpriced luxury rather than a daily ritual. Customers turned to cheaper alternatives like McDonald's and Dunkin' for coffee. Leading up to the recession, Starbucks had rapidly expanded opening stores across the US and globally. Too many stores in close proximity began cannibalizing each other. Speed overtook quality, and the company started to lose the Starbucks experience Shultz had worked so hard to build. The brand was beginning to feel like just another chain. Then Starbucks stock price dropped and Wall Street was losing confidence. Analysts and investors questioned if Starbucks could continue growing. There was pressure to cut costs fast, even if it meant sacrificing long-term brand value. With growth and performance slipping, employee morale suffered. Partners' employees were unsure of their future, and the culture Shultz had worked to protect was starting to erode, replaced by operational efficiency over connection and purpose. How he overcame it. Shultz had stepped down as CEO in 2000 but returned to the role in January 2008 to lead the turnaround. Howard stated, "I wasn't going to let Starbucks lose its soul." He took personal responsibility for fixing the problems and made hard, unpopular decisions to get the company back on track. In a bold and symbolic move, Shultz closed 7,100 US stores for several hours in February 2008 to retrain baristas on how to make the perfect espresso. This sent a message that quality matters more than profit. It reestablished pride in craftsmanship and refocused employees on customer experience. He also closed over 900 underperforming stores globally, a tough financial hit but a necessary step to stop overexpansion. Shultz led an effort to redefine the in-store experience and make Starbucks a place of connection again. He improved store layouts and aesthetics to bring back the cafe atmosphere and introduced new coffee blends and brewing methods. Shultz invested in long-term innovation rather than just cutting costs. He launched Starbucks Rewards, a loyalty program that attracted millions of users and rolled out mobile payment systems and digital ordering, putting Starbucks ahead of its competitors in convenience and tech. Shultz also reconnected with employees and gave partners a renewed sense of purpose that this wasn't just a job, it was part of a movement. Throughout the crisis, Shultz resisted pressure to become a discount brand or drastically lower product quality. He protected Starbucks' premium positioning, understanding that short-term discounts might destroy the brand's identity. Instead of cutting corners, he added value through experience, ethics, and consistency.
Remember to watch all the episodes on this.
I hope to see you again.
And remember, to achieve your goals, you must
Break all barriers.